Everyone dreams of being rich, right? No more worrying about bills, endless vacations, buying anything you want. It seems like the ultimate solution to all of life's problems. But what if I told you that for every problem money solves, it creates a new, more complicated one? A problem nobody ever warns you about. This is the dark side of wealth, the hidden cost of hitting the jackpot. Let's start with the most surprising one. The richer you get, the smaller your world can become. It sounds completely backward, doesn't it? You'd think with unlimited funds, the world would be your oyster. You can travel anywhere, do anything. But in reality, extreme wealth often builds invisible walls around you. Your life becomes a gilded cage. You fly on private jets, stay in exclusive resorts, and eat at restaurants with private rooms. You're constantly shielded from the real world. The spontaneous joy of discovering a hidden local cafe or chatting with a stranger on a park bench. Gone. Your experiences become curated, sanitized, and isolated. You start to lose touch with everyday reality, with the pulse of normal life that keeps us grounded. Then there's the trust issue. This is a huge one. When you have a lot of money, you start questioning everyone's motives. Is this person being friendly because they genuinely like me, or because they want something from me? Are my old friends treating me the same, or is there a weird tension now? New relationships become a minefield. You develop a kind of paranoia. You're constantly on guard, trying to figure out who's real and who's wearing a mask. This constant suspicion is exhausting. It can make you feel incredibly lonely, even when you're surrounded by people. You crave genuine connection, but you're terrified of being used. So you pull back, you build walls, and that isolation we just talked about gets even worse. Your old relationships suffer too. Friends you've known for years might start acting differently. Some might feel awkward. Others might become resentful. They might make jokes about you always paying, which starts as fun, but can breed bitterness. Or they might feel like they can't relate to your new life, your new problems. How can you complain about the maintenance costs on your yacht to a friend who's struggling to pay their rent? The gap widens. You stop sharing because you don't want to sound like you're bragging or being insensitive. They stop sharing because they assume their problems seem insignificant compared to yours. Slowly but surely, the connections that once defined you begin to fray. And let's talk about the pressure to stay rich. You'd think once you have millions, you'd relax. It's the opposite. The fear of losing it all can be more intense than the desire to get it in the first place. You become obsessed with investments, market fluctuations, and protecting your assets. It's a full-time job you can't clock out of. Then there's the pressure from family. Suddenly, you're not just a son, a daughter, a cousin. You're the family bank. You become responsible for everyone's financial well-being, their bad decisions, their emergencies. Saying no can lead to guilt and family drama. Saying yes can lead to resentment and feeling like a human ATM. It's an impossible position to be in. The things that once brought you joy start to lose their magic. This is called hedonic adaptation. That first-class flight is amazing the first time. The 10th time, it's just a flight. That designer watch is thrilling when you first buy it. A month later, it's just a thing that tells time. You have to keep chasing bigger and better things to get the same thrill. And it's a race you can never win. The simple pleasures like a walk in the park or a home-cooked meal can feel bland in comparison. You lose your appreciation for the small things, the very things that make up a happy life for most people. Then comes the loss of purpose. For many of us, our careers and the struggle to build a better life give us meaning. It gives us a reason to get up in the morning. When you have so much money, you never need to work again. What do? What's your purpose? You can end up feeling aimless, drifting through life without a goal. This existential boredom is a real and dangerous thing. Humans need to feel useful, to contribute, to overcome challenges. When money removes all the immediate challenges, you have to find new, more abstract ones, and that can be incredibly difficult. Many wealthy individuals fall into depression because they feel they've lost their why. Your children are affected too. Raising grounded kids in an environment of extreme privilege is a monumental challenge. How do you teach them the value of hard work when they've never had to work for anything? How do you teach them resilience when they've never been allowed to fail or struggle? They can grow up with a sense of entitlement, disconnected from the real world, and unable to cope with an adversity life will eventually throw at them, money or no money. They can become the target of jealousy or people who want to take advantage of them. Protecting your kids while also preparing them for the world is a constant source of anxiety. And finally, you become a target. A target for lawsuits, for scams, for jealousy, for public criticism. Your life is no longer private. Every major purchase, every trip, every mistake can be scrutinized. You live with a heightened need for security, not just for your possessions, but for your family. That's a heavy burden to carry. The freedom you thought money would buy is replaced by a new kind of prison, one made of security systems, legal teams, and public relations managers. Now, I'm not saying being poor is better than being rich. Of course not. Money is a tool, and it can do incredible good. It can provide security, comfort, and opportunities. It can solve real, tangible problems like lack of healthcare or housing. But it's not a magic wand that brings eternal happiness. The pursuit of wealth for wealth's sake is a hollow goal. The real goal is a life of meaning, connection, and purpose. And those are things that money can't buy. In fact, if you're not careful, it can actively take them away from you. So the next time you find yourself dreaming of winning the lottery, remember this. A fulfilling life isn't about having everything you want. It's about wanting what you have and finding joy and purpose in the journey, not just the destination. The real richness in life comes from our relationships, our contributions, and our personal growth. Those are the assets that will never lose their value. Thanks for watching. If this gave you a new perspective, consider subscribing for more.